Good morning, everyone. I would like to pass a message today. So, excuse me for the way I look. I just woke up this morning. I have had dreams that are unbelievable. Now, this last dream that I had overnight, this past night, is some serious business. When I tell you that I have had answers and I am more at peace now in knowing what happens after we die, to where I have seen the entire script of life. I have seen the after effects of everybody and everything, every race, and the beginning of creation. How about the statues that have been found underwater? I ended up having a dream last night without ever looking into that. I had a dream last night of all of us going under this liquid, and we got down, some on our knees, some fell to our butt, some were probably standing, but everyone got down, and chains just came from underground and locked onto us and carried us into the next part of life. The chains didn't drag us. When I tell you that the chains locked us where we were, and then we just went into this light. We stood where we stood or sat where we were, and then we saw this light come, and we all went into this light and ended up in another part of the world. We ended up in this natural body of liquid, from the same situation of us going into the liquid. We woke up coming out of the liquid, and our bodies formed from all of our souls that went into that light. What's crazy is, out of nowhere, I randomly see that there are statues of people standing and sitting and on chains underwater. In Indonesia, in Italy, in Russia, in different parts of the world. Gili Island. Excuse me if I pronounced it wrong. It's probably Gali or Gili Island. Everything that I have seen has been real in my dreams. Since I have been a little girl, everything that I have ever had dreams about ended up turning out to be something that I can't talk about with people, because people are quick to judge, but then on the other hand want to know all about life. You can't judge people. That's God's job. You find out who you are whenever you make it to the next world, from the beginning of you being here. Whether you were reincarnated and were formed into your exact same self, that's the exact same body with the exact same scars of what you've had, to or you just simply make it there and you have a choice of doing a variety of things. But as soon as you get there, it's as if it was made for us already. It's a facility that is a place where everyone don't have to pay to eat. Everyone don't have to pay to sleep. Everyone don't have to pay to do anything. You're just free. You start off in these outfits, everyone wearing the same thing. And then over time you make it to a lifestyle where you do various things at your will on your own whenever you're ready. But you're still here. It's as if you didn't go through any pain at all when you died. When I don't even look at the word died as in a word anymore after learning this. Because there's no such thing as not existing anymore. There's not a such thing as leaving this world. We pass over. And I have seen so many people make mistakes to where they were afraid that they had to go through certain things again to start over life, to where some people made it back to the point of where they went back into the liquid and tried to fast forward to a point of where they want to be, but it didn't work like that. You can't just decide that you're gonna go and do something, then it makes everything all out of order. Everything in life is prepared for you. While you're prepared for the world is already prepared for you. The world is not looking for new gods. The world is not looking for new people who say that they can change something with the world just because they done discovered different ways of learning how the world operates. And I've learned from all of my dreams and from this dream here in particular, because it was so much that I had went through overnight to where I thought that I was still there until I woke up. We were doing normal things. Everyone was getting along until it came to a situation where I came across this man who ended up trying to get everyone to start over again, to say that he was the real Jesus when he wasn't. But you can tell that there was others already who have a part of that being their job, to monitor everyone, to not allow that to happen without even stepping in. There were certain people who was against him, but at the same time, they doubts in your mind make you not agree with the full positivity of things. So they could say that they were against him, but the doubts in their head didn't allow them to make actions to go against it. The people who were actually going along with what he was saying caused so much confusion and so much negativity to where it began to be uproar for the first time. No one has seen it. We didn't even remember what uproar were, and until people started deciding of the first thought after that to be, well, what if we remember how we were before we just got here? Everyone was so much at peace to where it was this one person who tried to change everybody's mind about things being peaceful into a place of where it shouldn't. And when the man tried to do so, I spoke up and I told him, I said, "You are not Jesus. I said, you are trying to get the people to go against their peace. And he laughed at me and said, how do you know who I am? Because in my head, I kept repeating his name. It was Satan. I don't know what he looks like in his normal state. He was just a man, unless that's just him in his normal state. He was a man. Even the creatures went last. The people went first, basically, then the creatures went last. When the creatures went into the liquid, they came back as people, and they met up with us, and they were so confused with everything. But at the same time, they knew all about it. They knew all about everything. They was wondering how the people became to learning what they knew so much. That's because we kept going to that same pattern where we ended up on the chains, in the liquid, and back to that place again. And it's like it happened so fast. That's why they said heaven is a day away, or a second away. That's because everything happened so fast. Everything was going on at a normal pace, but it's as if we kept popping there back to back so fast. That's to show that your life that you live is so fascinating, because it may seem that it's between 60 to 120 years. Depends on what the lifespan is. That just came to me in focus whenever I first thought of it in mind. But whenever it comes to our lifespan, we don't realize that this life is going so fast, and we have repeated ourselves. That's why we have deja vu moments. We are here in a time again from what we were in once before. Crazy part is, we live the same life. Some may did something a tad bit different. Some people actually caught on, and some people didn't. But at the end of the boat, we all came to the end of realizing at the same time the same things, the same thoughts, the same explanations. Life explains to you everything that you need to know. It's not for you to go to find. Everything that has ever been going on, that scientists and discoveries of us tracking just this one planet's time span and point of access, has been created by us. It's not technically what's going on or what's happening. Excuse me. But it is everything that we created to try to understand what we know now. Everything that we've been learning has been training us to live in the next world. And most of everything that we have been learning hasn't been anything useful for the next world, if that makes sense. We're just living under ways that we feel temporarily get us certain feelings of not being upset. We supposed to be living in harmony to where we don't even think of being upset. I met Jesus. I feel like I would have to really be in an interview to speak more about my relation with Jesus, because I'm just a different person. I'm a different breed. It's been years, and I've been hiding myself and hiding my dreams, and I've been acting along with the world by using common sense. I have responded the way people not expect me to respond. If someone asks me how old am I may say, how old do they think I am? Honestly, I'm 25 now, but that's just a number that we created. We don't go by counting how old we actually are from the previous lives we've been here. If we go by calculating who we are of each life cycle, then we will be a different age than what we say we are from minor calculations. We are missing so much in the depth of life right now. The people who are intelligent and the people who actually have dreams similar to mine understand the same concept, and that's being a prophecy of existence. Being a prophet. When I say that we are a prophecy, that's because we're all living in the same tomb. But we're individually prophets. The Bible is here to explain to us the concept of life, and we choose what we want to know out of it and make it into relations to one day, when we should make it into relations to every life cycle. The people who lived long hundreds of years that were in the Bible, some people names were even hidden in the Bible from who they were previous. It's up for you to understand, because they will repeat themselves and tell you who they are. They will just explain to you in a certain way of what makes their name different now that they have been reincarnated. Some people are the same people in the Bible. The testimonies that people had, where do you think they came from? Relations to dreams, out-of-body experiences. This that I had last night wasn't a dream of me being in fairyland. This was an actual out-of-body experience. I had to come back to my body, and I saw visions of bright light, and my body tingled the whole way for me to come back and for me to go. I just remember I was there with everybody, as if I could ask my mom, do she remember being there? And she would probably look at me crazy, because my mom always been the type of person to where sometimes she's interested in my dreams or things that I may say. Sometimes she just overlook it because it make her think too much. Sometimes my dreams and my explanations of certain situations just might not be too real in the eyes of other people, but that don't make it fake to me. I know that what I've experienced have been real. I have met people who I've known for years, and go to another place and meet them there, the same person. And it's not them. How do you not know that you're in another place? It looks like you. You have the same markings, the same everything. I even met someone who was in another place in the same city, but a different color with the same exact body, scars, and everything. How do you think that I feel carrying things like this and such secrets like this? But that's how people of us are chosen. You can't just say you are a chosen one just to expect people to think of you highly. For you to be chosen, you have to know you're chosen. When you are chosen, things unreal will happen. Because everything in the world around you know that you are not trying to use it. You are trying to utilize it. We all are similar in some ways, but we are not the same. Everybody has a purpose, and when you make it to the next life, they will tell you who you are, and when you instantly know, you will remember everything around it. We live life trying to figure out who we are so much to where it distracts us from the true meanings of life. Right now, people wonder where we are in this standpoint of life right now, but I have the answer. I've been dreamt about it. I've been have out-of-body experiences. Sometimes I get out of my body and I just walk around and I communicate with like other people who are either in my house or in this world that I couldn't see if I was back in my body. The only way I see them back in my body is if I see a figure of them, such as what we call a spirit. That's as if I just went to another dimension in the same altitude of life. I seen images of people being down on chains on their knees. And I had the same exact dream of us being on chains on our knees, and I turned into a skeleton with my clothes on and turned back into my skin, into a new place with new clothes. And everyone was wearing the same thing. They weren't old, ugly clothes. They were retro clothes. They were modern to the day we were in. When I was there, I was for sure that we were more advanced than what we were now. People was popping up out of nowhere. Everyone who came in went directly to the bloodline and the circle of people they come from. So it was no one missing anyone. Everyone came a second away from one another. If someone came late, they might still been living their life that was years in that time, but it was only a second in the time from where I was when I went to the dream. we were all talking and in line. It was a booth full of different meats, food, but I couldn't have any knowledge of it being any creature that we done ate before being in this world, such as a cow or a pig or a chicken, anything. It was food that was made to look like meat. You can cook any meat in the world and make it look like meat. You can cook a cow, a pig, a chicken, a whale, a shark, a human, anything that you should that you should think is gonna turn out to look flabby with some meat on it or something like that, and it turns out to look that image. But that don't mean that everything is meant to eat. People are not meant to be eaten. I don't know who does that. Cannibalist people, so-called cannibalist people, those people are going to realize they're wrong in their last days. Sad part is, they can't come back and tell those people what they're doing are wrong. They know what they're doing are wrong in the beginning of doing it. But the meat that we had was as if it was put there for us. I couldn't get any answer about, which I'm not saying I asked or anything, or I wasn't even curious of what type of meat it was. I just knew it was a food I was used to eating. I knew it was good for me, and I knew that it was a feast. It was food lined on this booth to where you can grab anything you want, anything you wanted. And it wasn't any of us. It wasn't any of the animals. It wasn't anything like that. It was just something processed into the look of me, and it had, because I was grabbing the fatty pieces and everything, the pieces that looked as if it was fatty. But in my mind, I knew my entire life that I lived before, I just couldn't remember anything wrong. The only thing that I remember was being afraid to go into that liquid until I went in it and felt free when I got locked on them chains, because the chains make you not go back up, so you won't mess up the process of you going into the light. The chains are to lock you for you to go into the light on your own time. You can't go into the light forcefully. You have to make your mind up that you're going to go to it. But this whole time in this world, we're looking for this light. The world operates off of light. We are looking for this journey that we are going to undergo that puts us in the light. So by the time you do let go, you realize that you just know you're going to a good place. And when you get to, everyone, like I said, is there. And you're like, oh, that wasn't so bad. That wasn't bad at all. Like I said, it was people going back to try to get the same reaction again. They messed up, though, because you're not supposed to do that. I did it a few times, honestly. But I did it a few times to go back to make certain mistakes not happen again. I didn't do it just to try to change something that happened specifically for me. I went back and I did it faster the times I went back, of course, because I knew that I was going to be safe. The only weird part was feeling my skin disappear from my body and then feeling it come back on my body. You want to know where your soul is? Your bones. That's why tombs have been discovered with mummies. That's why you have your bones left whenever you get buried, because your bones are your actual structure of who you are that signify the difference in all people. Your bone carries your soul, and the body in your breath is your the breath in your body, excuse me, is your spirit. The actual breath in our body is our spirit. That's what keeps us going. Our bone structure of what creature we are, who we are, and who is